Es un simple placer, una madre jugando con sus niños en un parque. Pero no hace mucho tiempo, Linda hubiera tenido miedo traer a sus hijos a este lugar público. Su exmarido, un drogadicto violento, estaba fuera de control.
He laid a hand on me, he molested my older daughter, and he slashed my tires. And that's when I had to stop and put a foot down and go to the courthouse and get a restraining order to protect myself and my 3 kids.
Probablemente has escuchado algo sobre las órdenes de restricción temporales, también conocidas como TROs. Más de 500 son presentadas cada mes en el Condado de San Diego. Hay mucha ayuda disponible para asesorarlo a través del proceso. Casi siempre la orden es el resultado de un hecho de violencia doméstica y una llamada al 911. Hay algunas medidas que normalmente se pueden tomar antes de que una situación de este tipo llegue a ser una emergencia. Cada familia debe tener un plan de seguridad por si tuviera que escapar de una situación de abuso.
Myself and my kids, we have a safety plan. And that's my kids and I, we have numbers of relatives and friends, and they know. And if we're in a bad situation, they know where to go and who to call.
Aprenderá más acerca de los planes de seguridad enseguida, pero primero, ¿qué es exactamente un TRO?
A temporary restraining order is an order from the court that keeps an individual, theoretically keeps an individual safe from the person who's causing them harm or coming after them.
Well, the restraining order 100% restrains the other person not coming near you. It's not an iron wall, of course, but we, as a woman, we always have to be aware of our surroundings.
En el Centro de Justicia Familiar, localizado en la calle Broadway número 107, en el centro de San Diego, una variedad de servicios están disponibles sin ningún costo. Es fácil llegar utilizando el trolley o transporte público.
The Family Justice Center is the one-stop shop for domestic violence services. Everything that the victim needs, that he or she needs when they're going through abuse. We have counseling, we have a restraining order clinic. There's attorneys here who are able to help somebody going through domestic violence to get a restraining order.
The best thing for a victim to do is to call the hotline, and that's 888-DV-LINKS, L-I-N-K-S, and they can get current information on who is offering domestic violence assistance in their area.
No hay ningún costo por llenar una orden de restricción de violencia doméstica y puede ser tramitada en la corte en el centro de la ciudad, la corte de South Bay en Chula Vista, la corte del Cajón o la corte de Vista. El procedimiento es el mismo en todos los lugares. Usted no necesita un abogado o un reporte de policía para llenar esta orden. Puede conseguir más información por internet en este sitio.
The steps to file a restraining order just includes paperwork, which we do have available in the office or you can get online. We do need the packet, which includes all the forms. Those would be processed over the counter, and then we take them upstairs to the judge to be reviewed.
There's people there that help you out, fill out all the forms. We don't have to do anything about just to explain about our situation. And they will fill out all the paperwork for you. So it's easy as 1, 2, 3.
At the courthouse, at each location, we do have a facilitator's office that is on site, and that is free legal service as far as filling out documents. Those are located in each of the courthouses in the main lobby, but here in Central, we have an actual domestic violence clinic.
The information that the victim should have in order to file a temporary restraining order is any evidence related to the case, such as a police report, any text messages, electronic mail, or any recent abuse that's related to the temporary restraining order.
When they sign their declaration, they're going to sign it under penalty of perjury. So if they put something that isn't true, there could be negative consequences. The courts could find them in contempt or guilty of perjury.
Usted no necesita tener lesiones físicas para solicitar una orden de restricción temporal.
The judge needs to see if a victim is claiming that there were physical injuries. Spell out what the injuries are. What occurred to cause those injuries? Was there a fight? Was it a one-sided fight? Was it a two-way fight? If the temporary restraining order is granted, the court will sign off on it. It goes back to the business office for processing, and it has to be served on the party that is being restrained so that they have a copy of the orders that the judge has made and what they are allowed or not allowed to do.
More than holding my hand, they were holding everything, my feelings, my heart, everything. They're very helpful on listening very carefully about the situation, what we went through.
Hay 3 copias de la orden, una que entra en una base de datos a nivel estatal a disposición de todas las agencias del orden público.
When I receive the TRO, that's after it's been signed by the judge, I take the paperwork back downstairs to the business office where I'll meet with the victim as well, and we'll set up a hearing date that's most convenient for them and the judge's calendar.
After the hearing, the victim will get 2 copies. One copy will go to the victim or the petitioner, and the second copy goes to the respondent to be served on them. Once that second copy for the respondent is given to our office for service, ultimately, the petitioner leaves the courthouse with just 1 copy.
El solicitante después va a la oficina del secretario del juzgado. En el centro de la ciudad, esta oficina está localizada en el Madge Bradley Building, en la calle Cuarta y Avenida Ash, a 5 minutos a pie del Palacio de Justicia.
Our civil clerk will take in that document and match it up and print out a field ticket and also a information instruction sheet which will go on along with the TRO.
Hay un formulario disponible para eximir el costo por el servicio de entregar la TRO. Los oficiales del sheriff tendrán una hoja de instrucciones sobre el demandado y la mayor información sobre él, mejor.
What we like to get from there is a work address, a home address, phone numbers, cell phone numbers if they have that. We want to know if they're prone to carrying weapons. We also like to know if they have a history of violence against police officers. It'll also have any special scars or tattoos that they might have, something that will set them apart for identification purposes. For that matter, if they have dogs, that may be a problem at their residence or their place of work.
La persona restringida debe ser notificada 5 días antes de la audiencia de la corte. Para saber si una persona ha sido notificada, usted puede verificar en la página web del sheriff en www.sdsheriff.net o llamar al 858-974-2110. Usted tendrá que presentarse ante la corte para la audiencia programada y podrá hablar con el juez. También puede traer a alguien que abogue por usted, pero no necesita.
It's an opportunity for them to talk about the factors that put them in danger, such as the responding party's drug use, or the fact that they have weapons, or the fact that they've abused them in the past. Those type of things are really important for the judge to know.
La persona restringida puede también contar su versión de los hechos. Si usted no se presenta, la TRO expira.
Our goal is to have each of the victims accompanied to the courthouse so they don't have to be alone, and we always refer them to our advocacy team, who's generally available to go with them.
If the party has been served but fails to appear, the court at that time can go forward based upon the allegations made in the complaint.
Hay otras agencias que también ofrecen ayuda gratuita para obtener órdenes de restricción. Consejeros también pueden ayudar con un plan de seguridad que deberá estar hecho antes de obtener la orden. Este incluirá un lugar seguro para que las víctimas vivan si se ven obligadas a abandonar su hogar, números de teléfonos de emergencia y una maleta llena de cosas esenciales si un escape rápido fuera necesario. Por lo general, la orden temporal es para mantener a la persona restringida por lo menos a 100 yardas de distancia de la víctima o demandante y es válida por 20 días. Después hay una nueva audiencia.
Temporary restraining order expires, so that's why it's important that they show up to the permanent restraining order hearing so the judge can make the order permanent.
Una vez concedida, la orden permanente puede tener efecto hasta por 5 años e incluso se puede extender. La restricción es una herramienta útil, pero no es garantía de seguridad absoluta. Tienes que reportar cualquier violación. También debes llevar una copia de la orden contigo en todo momento. Si la persona restringida viola la orden, llama a la policía. Linda ahora tiene una orden de restricción permanente contra su exmarido.
I know my kids and I were safe by having this restraining order, which helps me protect my children and myself. We get to sleep better at night.
Esa es la idea detrás de la orden de restricción temporal, proporcionar seguridad y paz.